Hello. You are listening to Dads with Startups, a podcast about a couple of entrepreneurs who put family first.
Hello
What's up,
there.
Kevin?
How's it going?
Pretty good. So we have had a hard time recording this episode, haven't
Yeah. Yes, we have. I had no voice last week, and the week before, someone else was coming up.
we? Could have been my fault.
I think it was mine.
So, and the sad thing is, today we were supposed to record an hour and a half ago, and I forgot because I didn't have my calendar synced with my work calendar, so I didn't see the event
Yeah. There you go.
in there.
I've done that before. Well, you have a demo, which is exciting, in about 20 minutes. So for the listeners, we'll be making this quick, but that's exciting. Is that a new customer?
Yep, it's possibly a new customer. Yeah.
Good.
So we'll see how it goes. We've had, man, let me just recap. So personal life, my wife and I went to Mexico a couple of weeks ago, and we had this nice break from life and stayed in an all-inclusive resort and everything.
Nice.
So
was it sunny or was it rainy? The question on everyone's mind.
Did I talk about that last time? Yeah, it was both. It rained quite a bit. So, but I think we found enough hours. August is the rainy season, but between 4 full days of staying at the resort, we had a couple of mornings that had sun.
Nice.
That we were able to enjoy.
Got some beach time. Beach and pool time. That's great. Yep. We're doing the same in about, I guess this next month. We're going to be going down to, taking an adventure down to something called Rocky Point, which is directly south of the Arizona border, in the peninsula, right? No, in the Bay, I guess.
Baja.
Yeah, the Baja Bay. And there's a bunch of resorts there. So we'll be driving, and that'll be my first time driving to Mexico. I've gone there a few times, various places, but I'm gonna have to get Mexican insurance beforehand, and there's a whole group of Phoenicians, I guess, that make this this journey to the coast, and I'm a little nervous because we're supposed to be careful of the first town. You need to make sure you come to full stops and don't do anything. The police can sometimes want to bribe or something. So I'm a little nervous about that, but overall, it seems like a pretty safe journey. And once we get there, it should be quite lovely. So I'm excited about that. So I'm following in your footsteps more or less with the Mexico beach stuff.
You taking kids or just?
We are, yeah. So that's another reason I'm a little ooh. So I'm looking at all the Facebook groups. I'm asking questions. I'm scoping it out. But my dentist, who lives in Phoenix, is the one who gave me this idea. He's like, oh yeah, I take my 2 kids. They're like little toddlers, and we drive down, and it's great. And we just bought a condo down there, and so I figure if my dentist can do it,
if he can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. So that's
cool. Yeah. So today we, it's conference season for us, which means all of our customers, they have these annual conferences. We've signed up for, we've committed to 11 conferences, and we have a couple more we want to go to between now and about March. About 10 of them, there's 14. Anyway, we've been to 3 over the last 2 weeks, and we have about 8 more between now and the end of mid-November. So,
geez, that's a lot to squeeze in.
So, yep. And this is part of the reason. I think this is part of the reason why we haven't been able to record this episode, and we had a break. So we'll just call it a summer hiatus.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, I did take a vacation to Mexico, but work is getting in the way too.
How was the last conference? You went down to my area, to Scottsdale area. Is that right? Or is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a big trade show. It was educational conference. A bunch of city planners go to this one. in Arizona, and they listen to talks and everything. This type of conference, usually they put us in the hall with like a table, and we
Okay.
can, put up a pop-up banner and add some stuff, maybe provide some swag.
Nice.
But this year, or at this conference, they stuck us in one of the like presentation rooms on the side, which meant
Okay.
that nobody was really talking to us because they'd come in and listen to presentations. So
Interesting.
I'm gonna have to say this one was kind of a bust.
Okay.
For me.
And just you guys or everyone? They put everybody in the same place?
way.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it was the
All
all the vendors were thrown in this weird conference, weird presentation room.
Yep. Yeah. And everyone kind of felt the same way. And
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, if I don't get a new customer, this is the second time I've been to this conference with the same sentiment. And if I don't get a customer from this one, I don't think I'm going to go back.
I think that's good 80-20 thinking there. Just don't waste your time if it's not going to result in.
So I have an employee who went to Wisconsin the same week, last week, and he had a lot of success. We've got a demo booked from that one.
Great.
He's working some other leads that he got from that conference. So that one was a pretty good one. So
how's he liking that experience? He's the one that you kind of chose. Well, you hired him for one of the main reasons was conference attendance and stuff.
Yeah, his title is Customer Success Representative. I'm finding that he is really good with interpersonal interactions.
Nice.
I mean, he's charismatic and fun to talk to, and so I thought he would be a good fit for conferences. And so I kind of gave him the decision-making power. I got him a credit card through Brex and said, hey, just go out and pay for all these booth fees and book your flights and hotels.
Love it.
So he's going to more conferences than me. In fact, the only conferences I'm going to are ones that happen the same week that he has a conference, plus a few that we decided to tag team, go together to a few conferences. But
that's fun.
Yeah.
I hope that results in lots of customers. That's the goal.
Yeah, I've decided to pay him a bonus for demos booked. So he gets a bonus per demo that he books as a result of going to a conference. And this bonus is in effect for 12 months after the conference with the city. So
great.
Even if he makes a contact and then he nurtures that lead for a year and then they book a demo, that still counts,
And that's great.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not nurturing them for a year and being labor intensive. We're going to try to automate a lot of stuff, from these contacts, but we'll see what happens. So I'm hoping that it motivates him to, he seems pretty motivated anyway, so I'm not trying to fix a problem. I just felt like it clearly defines what is your, what is your objective in this role? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, you got to have a goal. It can't just be to smile and give out stickers. It's got to be anything in life has to have some goal, right? And so giving him that gives him at least a bit of more of an incentive to shoot for that, which I think is smart.
Yeah. So how about you? What's new in your world?
Yeah. So last time, I think it was a while ago since we met, I was taking forever to get out a new update, deploy an update that had a lot of features wrapped into one. Such an exhausting process. I was up for like 2 weeks doing testing and then finding new issues and then doing more testing and keep putting it off every day. My partner was like, you've been saying you're going to get this update out forever. When is this actually going to happen? And every day I'd be like, well, today I think I can do it. And then I'd find some other issue that was big enough to stop it from going forward. But I finally got it. I finally got it out. It wasn't absolutely perfect, but it was mostly in good shape. And the good thing is that when you put out an update, you're just kind of waiting for, the other shoe to drop. And thankfully it went out pretty much without a hitch. I did enough testing that it was in good shape and released some big features. So I'm excited about that. But my goal now is to really, I've really rethought about how can I do this more efficiently. We're not at the stage where I can't really bring in enough resources right now to do like script testing yet. So that's still on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of just ensuring that what my developers are delivering to me actually works, so that's been the main issue. Is like, oh, I'm done, complete on on our task manager, and then I'll spend I'll be like, oh great, I look at my phone, oh great, he did this. 2 days later, when I finally get around to checking it, it's mostly good, but there's another, either there's a new bug or he didn't do it the way I thought or something like that. And so I've now, and usually it was another issue was that we were having meetings and they would demonstrate stuff to me, but they would always demonstrate it on their local server, which when you actually put it up to even a staging server, it's not exactly, with real data, it's a different animal. So we've moved to a new model where we've gotten rid of all of our meetings. We're now just doing weekly stand-ups in Slack. So there's there's a nice little app, a Slack app I installed that basically every Friday, like tonight, it'll basically request all the developers to answer the following questions publicly. So they're all kind of like looking at each other, and there's a bit of little pressure on them for that. And then they have to show me what they've done, where they're stuck and what they're going to do. And then they also, for every task they complete, they have to include a screencast of it working on the actual staging site, which has the live customer data, pretty fresh data, I should say. And it has to be working there, and it has to be thorough. And so I've caught so many things just by like the moment I see that they've completed it, I'm like, okay, yeah, you got this, but you didn't get this. And I can really get back, have them redo it effectively much more quickly. So I'm hoping this will reduce my time having to test down the road, because they're usually catching their own errors when they make the screencast, and that should help. And then if I do catch any more, I can have them fix it quickly versus like waiting another week, which is what was happening before. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm finally I'm enthusiastic about the change. And then in terms of just like, I think we've talked about this before. I've talked about this numerous times, but I'm more and more convinced that we basically I thought we were launching with a minimum viable product. I think that's arguable now. I realize like the feedback is so strong now. Every single customer who signs up and walks away, if they tell us anything, it's that like, where's your quiz feature? And then I say, well, we don't have it right now, but we're working on it. And then I never hear from them again. So that seems to be the one thing that really people are like, what do you mean? How can you have a course system without a quiz feature? And so I'm learning that was not, maybe it was technically a minimum viable product, but it probably wasn't a very good one. So we're really trying to ramp that up and build that out as quickly as we can.
You had a minimum product, but not a viable product.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. It's good way of putting it. So that's been, so we're working on that. And the nice thing is I found a really slick package that's built in. It's built in a number of different, it's basically JavaScript, but they have versions in Node.js, they have versions in Vue, and they have versions in Vue, Angular, and React, and you can just kind of choose your language flavor, and it is a beautiful front end for a quiz builder that has every bell and whistle you want, and you just have to basically supply your own database structure to it. And so the good news, all we have to do is customize it, remove some stuff. We've already stuck it in the app, and all it will do is just, all we have to do is keep it updated, really. And that should save us like, months and months of development and tons of money. I'm thinking it's only like $500. So I'm excited about that. At least we found something that should work and make that quicker. And so, we'll hopefully get that out in the next, my hope is to get it out in the next month. So I'm shooting for that. So that's kind of where we are. We're getting some new customers. It seems like for whatever reason, recently has been an uptick in signups. I know one thing we just switched over. So before our update, we had a free plan, and now we've gotten rid of the free plan, and we're going full credit card trial only, so that you have to enter your credit card to get the trial. And I went back and forth on this. and came to the conclusion. There's a lot of folks that just don't think it's even like they don't even recommend it for SaaSes. It's like everyone has a free trial. But the ones that I found that were doing it and stood by why it was good were the bootstrapped SaaSes out there. It seems like it's really worked well for bootstrap SaaSes because they don't have funding to be able to kind of throw accounts out there left and right. And so yeah, we're doing that. Looks like we lost. I wonder if